Hello, dear learners. This is Dr. Kaveri Swami, Professor, Department of Political Science, Christu Jayanti College. So today I'm going to explain you something about Douglas McGregor. So who was he and what was his contribution towards the society and the popular theory which has been propounded by Douglas McGregor, which we'll call it as Theory X and Theory Y. So let's begin with an introduction about the Douglas McGregor, like what was he, how was he, what was his the ups and downs that he faced in his lifetime. So let's begin with the brief introduction of Douglas McGregor. So Douglas McGregor was a social psychologist and a household name in the world of professional manager. He was born in the year 1960 and he was a great thinker, leader, management and a leadership theorist. So during his school days, he worked as a night clerk and also played a piano. So at the age of 19, he has to drop out from his college to earn his livelihoods. And then he joined a gas station attendant in Buffalo, where later he rose to the rank of a regional gas station manager by 1930. So later on in 1932, he obtained his bachelor's degree, and 1933 he got his master's, and later on he got his doctorate's degree from the psychology from Harvard University. So in recognition of his contribution, the main Antioch College was named as Antioch University McGregor, which has also been popularly called as McGregor. So this is the same institution where McGregor spent almost his 6 years as a president. So Douglas postulated over 3 decades ago that every leader has a core assumptions about the human nature, and these assumptions influence the style of leadership practiced by the leader. So his views on leadership are of a great significant values because he was the first to apply the behavioral science findings to the world and the business of the leadership. So the idea that the manager's attitude has an impact on the employee's motivation and was originally proposed by Douglas McGregor, a management professor at the Institute of Technology during 1950s and 1960s. So in 1960s, he has written a book which he called as The Human Side of Enterprise. So here McGregor proposed 2 theories by which the managers perceives and address employees' motivation. He referred to these opposing motivational methods as Theory X and Theory Y management. Each assumes that the manager role is to organize and benefits the company. However, beyond this commonality, the attitudes and assumptions they embody are quite different. So Douglas McGregor work is established in the motivation theory, and he developed the 2 contrasting theories that are explained how managers' beliefs and behavior about what motivates the employees affected the management style, popularly called as Theory X and Theory Y. Let's look in terms of what exactly the Theory X talks about. So what McGregor talks about Theory X, he assumes that under the Theory X, work is inherently distasteful to most people and they attempt to avoid the work whenever possible. And similarly, he also have an assumption about the Theory X where he says that most people are not ambitious and they have a very little desire for the responsibilities and prefer to be directed. The third, what he talks about the Theory X, is that most people have little aptitude for creativity and solving the organization problems. The next he says under Theory X is that motivation occurs only at the psychological and the security level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So most people are self-centered, and as a result they must be closely controlled and often coerced to achieve the organization objectives. Most people resist change and most people are gullible and unintelligent. So essentially, Theory X assumes that the primary source of employee motivation is monetary, with the security as a strong second. So under theory X, one can take a hard or a soft approach to get the results. The hard approach to motivation relies on coercion, implicit threat, micromanagement, and the tight control, essentially an environment of command and control. So this is the category of the people who comes under the theory X. And then he goes with the categorization of another section of the people that they are working, which he puts under the category of theory Y. And in strong contrast of theory X, so theory Y is being proposed by McGregor. So according to which he makes certain possible assumption and says that under theory Y, work can be natural as play if the conditions are favorable. People will be self-directed and creative to meet their work and organizational objectives if they are committed to them. People will be committed to their quality and productivity objectives if rewards are the place and that addresses the higher needs such as self-fulfillment. The capacity for the creativity spreads throughout the organization, and most people can handle the responsibilities because creativity are common in the population. So under these circumstances, the people will seek responsibility. So McGregor stressed that theory Y management does not imply a soft approach. So what he does is that he next moves on and to give an information about the principles of scientific management to improve the employees' motivation. So McGregor recognized that some people may not have reached the level of maturity assumed by theory Y and may initially need tighter controls that can be relaxed as the employees develop. So if theory Y holds true, then an organization can apply the following principles of the scientific management to improve the employee motivation. The very first thing is we have decentralization and delegation. So if firms decentralize control and reduce the number of the levels of management, manager will have more subordinates and consequently need to delegate some responsibilities and decision making to them. The second that we have is job enrichment. So broadening the scope of an employee jobs adds varieties and opportunity to satisfy the ego's need. The third one is participative management. So under this, consulting employees in the decision making process taps their creative capacity and provides them with some control over their work environment. The fourth one that we have is the performance appraisal. So having the employees set objectives and participate in the process of self-evaluation increases the engagement and dedication. Now, irrespective of giving these theories of theory X and Y, where he has categorized a set of people under one group titled as theory X and the other group that titled as Y. Irrespective of that, however, his theory has been led with certain criticisms, where it says that the theory tends to oversimplify and overgeneralize the people. That's the first criticism which is levied against the theory. The second criticism is the theory puts all the philosophies and managerial styles in two extremes, which is not possible in the real life situation. And the third one he says is that he suggested the key to motivation is the job itself. However, not every individual look into a job for motivation, and every work cannot be made challenging and rewarding. The fourth criticism that has been levied against this theory is there may be some people in the organization who have theory Y assumptions, but there are the managers might feel that he has to behave in controlling and directive manager with them for some time until they develop and become the true Y people. So this is all about Mark Douglas' contribution towards the motivation and the theory of X and Y. Thank you so much.